Tonight, just the mountains and the palm trees will be watching as the Dodgers try to win it all in their adopted home away from home. But in their way lies a stubborn foe. A team that has had their own improbable run to the Fall Classic. A resilient bunch of characters that refuse to quit. With their ace on the mound, they hope to force a game seven. Will a champion be crowned tonight? It's Game 6 of the World Series.
As we continue to set up Game 6, we send it down to the field and check in with Tom Bernucci.
Thanks, Joe. If the Dodgers have a ninth-inning lead, who does Dave Roberts trust to get the last out?
Trainer, motherfucker.
Trying both options. The wild card is Julio Urias. Yesterday, Dave Roberts said he is not available on 2 days rest. Today, he said Urias is a late game option. The 24-year-old closed out the NLCS. He has 4 career saves. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. One thing Kevin Cash wants to see tonight from Blake Snell, more strikes early in counts. The Rays look at how often their pitchers get to 2 strikes within the first 3 pitches of an at-bat. Their starters were quite good at it during the regular season, but against the Dodgers, they've been much less aggressive. Snell was a case in point in Game 2, and he wound up throwing 88 pitches in 4 2/3 innings. If he struggles tonight, Cash will not hesitate to go to his high-leverage relievers. Joe?
All right, guys, thank you. Off we go, and it's a different look for the Rays with their lineup tonight as G-Man Choi is digging his way in. He's the leadoff hitter for Kevin Cash. He's followed by Arozarena. Austin Meadows, who is tonight. Brandon Lau, Manuel Margot, Joey Wendell, the back end, Willie Adames, Kevin Kiermaier, and Mike Zunino. Against the right-hander, Tony Gonsolin. 0-2 this postseason, ERA over 9. This his 3rd start. Check swing foul. And it was a half swing, but G-Man Choi kind of went after it, something he hasn't done a lot of this postseason. There are the numbers this October for the young right-hander. Broke his little streak of not swinging at the first pitch, if you count that. Here's the 0-1 from Gonsolin. Hold the string and a count 0-2.
Well, for Gonsolin, he's been bounced around. So in fairness, not the prototypical stat you're used to as a starter. His slider percentage of strikes have been low in the postseason. That was a strength for him in the regular season. And his walk-to-strikeout ratio, not according to his regular season numbers. So look for that to be a little bit better as he kind of settles in a traditional starting role tonight. And he starts tonight with a strikeout. On 3 pitches, G-Man Choi is taken care of, and that brings in Mr. Everything for the Rays. And the subject of our Indeed player resume. This postseason, all of these numbers are postseason records. Again, more opportunity, more rounds. Divisional play didn't start until 1969, but you're still comparing him to some of the game's best here recently, and he's done more with the bat in his hands than just about anybody else as he takes a strike that caught the outside corner. Yeah, he shouldn't see too many fastballs tonight. The changeup, right-on-right changeup, is a really good pitch for Gonsolin against Arozarena.
Here's one into right. That ball will
Come on, man. Let's start with this bullshit. Ese güey es bueno, güey.
No, yo sé que sí, bro.
Arozarena has put Tampa Bay on top as he flicks one into the seats and right onto the tarp. And it's 1-0 Tampa Bay as he has his 10th postseason home run. And the Rays are on top in Game 6.
That's incredible. He just saw a nasty slider away that he thought was a ball. It didn't faze him. Electric quick hands. This guy just can't tell you. Words can't describe
whatever,
motherfucker. He's hit a ton of solo home runs.
Vamos, va empezando esto, Rafa.
And they needed to get on the board first.
That's the 4th home run Gonsolin has given up this postseason. Here's Austin Meadows, strike 1. And as we've talked about with regard to Arozarena, he seems to have the ability, John, to take any pitch out of any part of the ballpark.
Yeah, it's amazing, Joe. I've watched.
There's one into right. It's going to cut down. Betts is over to cut it off, and Meadows is on with a run-out single. Obviously been part of a lot of postseason, watched on a lot of postseason. I've never seen a guy miss a pitch, or not miss a pitch, not miss a mistake. I mean, the first pitch that he sees is a slider that dots the outside part, borderline strike, right? You see him kind of shake his head, no big thing. And then the next one is right there, not as good. But I mean, are you kidding me? To go the other way speaks to how quick his hands are. I mean, and not just hitting a home run, but he hits that tarp out in right field, 1 on, 1 out, and a swinging strike on Brandon Lau. So Randy Arozarena just hit the buds, which means someone is winning tickets to opening day. You can too by tweeting Budweiser USA using hashtag #HitTheBuds and hashtag sweepstakes at Budweiser USA. He is literally doing everything. And has been the focal piece of this offense where you've got the player who is considered the best hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays, the guy at the plate now who led them in hits during the regular season. Brandon Lau hitting 143 in the World Series and 123 in the postseason overall.
Yeah, that's just amazing when you look at his regular season numbers. Kind of an out-of-body experience.
Come on, man, it's
for Brandon
okay.
This postseason. And you know, we talked to Kevin Cash and we asked him questions, and one of the questions is, who's the one guy you could see that needs to or could snap out? And he actually said Meadows. He liked the way he was swinging the bat, and Meadows right away checks in for a base hit, so his manager was on point with that.
2 balls and a strike now on Lau. Gonsolin checks on the runner, and Meadows back in hand first. 10 home runs for Arozarena. Part of the deal that happened in January between the Cardinals that had horrible production out of their outfield this year. And the deal with Tampa Bay came over with Jose Martinez. And Jose Martinez didn't even end the year with the Rays, and this guy didn't come up until the end of August. It's 7 home runs in the regular season. As he clips that with 10 here in the postseason, and none bigger than that to give the Rays down in the series a Game 6 lead.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, you know, the other thing that's just amazing about him, he's not like he's expanding the strike zone and giving you many outs for a pitcher. He is making the pitchers think of him, like we mentioned before, like Barry Bonds would a series, and he is dominating this series. When you look at the offensive numbers for the Rays, if you were to blank that team name and you said, would this team have success in the postseason? I don't think anybody could have said yes. But then you bring up this guy's contribution and their pitching. That's why they're here.
He just made his first mistake of the postseason. He spit on his own shirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ryder goes and a foul straight back by Lau. Lau has just 3 hits in this World Series, 3 for 21, but all 3 have left the park. And all 3 have been to the left of center. If they plan to pull on the infield, straight away in the outfield for the most part. Meadows goes again on ball 4, and it's in the dirt, and back to get it is Barnes. It's 2 on, 1 out. And more opportunity here for the Rays in the first inning.
This is the slider, okay? It wasn't the sharpest slider, but it was outer third. He flicks it. If he tries to pull that, he's out. But to speak about his hands and to speak about what he keeps doing, it's just not probable. And give that man a lot of credit. His story this year, based on what the Rays do, will be one of the most incredible ones because of how he started his year. Missing a lot of time because of COVID, putting in the work.
Just by push-ups.
Yeah.
Was doing Now he reported 300 a day, whatever it is. Just like his first base coach does, 10 for every run scoring. Ozzie Timmons, push-ups. Old school workout for Tampa Bay, and man, those paid off for Arozarena. 2 on, 1 out. The batter is Margot. And outside of Arozarena, Margot has easily swung the bat the best. He's hitting 400 in this World Series. And that's gotten his overall postseason average up to 296.
Yeah, he has. You see the no home runs, no RBIs, but he's had a lot better swings. And the collective theme so far, if you're Tony Gonsolin, these hitters are coming to the box ready to hit. They're swinging at the first pitch. They want to get something going. They've done that in the first.
Good pitch there, strike 2. We've seen so many approaches by whatever lineup is in there really for each side. Whether it's NLCS or World Series, trying to make the starter work. Take pitches, get the pitch count up. They don't care about the pitch count with Gonsolin. He's not going to be around long.
That's right.
0-2 the count. 1 out. 0-2. Just up. 1.
Well, what you can't let a team do if you're Tony Gonsolin is take away one of your better pitches. Now, I mentioned his slider has not been as great in the regular season, in the postseason as the regular season. The chase percentage in the regular season, 51.8. In the postseason, it's only been 19.4. And again, different roles, not consistency in the rotation, bouncing around, probably contributes a little bit to that.
1-2 pitch is fouled back. Whether it's within a ball game or now within a series, Kevin Cash's Rays trying to prove that they do not go away easily. And they started perfectly so far and look for more as they jump on top after losing Game 5 2 nights ago. Is in the dirt.
Well, the Dodgers, of course, and Dave Roberts, a lot of decisions to make in this game. They can win the World Series and not winning 2 games in a row. The Rays obviously cannot. They have to win these next 2 games. And what Dave's hoping, or was hoping, that he could get some innings out of Tony Gonsolin to not be forced, even though you've got a Game 7 in your back pocket with Walker Buehler, to use that bullpen there.
Here's a 2-2. Fly ball into right center with slice now to Betts, who comes in, eyes the runners, and hands out number 2. And Tony Gonsolin has only thrown 7 2/3 innings this postseason, but he's given up 4 long balls. Friedman, Dansby Swanson, Brandon Lau in this World Series, and now Arozarena.
And that one was a ball. I mean, that one you're going to look at and you're going to go, really? And in fairness, again, this is not making an excuse for a pitcher. He came into this postseason without pitching in a game in 17 days. And so part of that is you get a little bit out of rhythm. You pitch, you start a game, then you're in the pen a couple times. So he's searching for that rhythm you have every 5 days as a starter, and it's what you know. And it's becoming a little difficult for him here, obviously, with the scenario in the postseason.
If Dave Roberts was itching to get Gonsolin out of the ballgame with the left-hander Alex Wood ready in the bullpen, this would have been a spot. But after getting that out, the left-handed hitting third baseman Joey Wendell gets to deal with Gonsolin, and Wood stays in the bullpen for now. John, you said it 2 nights ago that after that crushing defeat for the Dodgers, an uplifting win for Tampa Bay in Game 4, the best thing for the Dodgers was they were the away team and they jumped on top in a blink. And now, facing elimination, the Rays have scored in the first and have a chance for more.
Well, they know their formula has worked all year, and that has been, look, it's simple. They've hit a ton of home runs, they've struck out a ton, they've walked. But what they do is defend and run prevention about as good as anybody when they're given the position late in the game. And that's what Kevin Cash is hoping for, and he was hoping for a little bit of cushion so that he could give his starter the opportunity to pitch as many innings as possible.
Wendell trying to add to this first inning. Gonsolin wants it to end now. And he steps up. Arozarena sits over there like he's been doing this for 12 years. He was a part of the Cardinal postseason roster last year, but not a factor. The guy's a rookie.
I mean, it's amazing. I'm blown away by him. He has been easily the best player in the postseason for all teams combined, of course. Corey Seager's not too far behind.
16 teams got into this tournament, 2 are left. The top seed from the AL against the top seed from the NL.
That is jamming somebody and full turn, hitting it off your leg. And not even wincing when you know that absolutely crushed him. This is a cutter in that he fouls off his knee. I guess if you're not going to wear gloves, I expect this kind of stoic, didn't bother me. And usually the next pitch goes right back in.
He walked it off. I don't know how. And is ready for another 1-2 from Gonsolin.
Slide it down and in would be dirty if they choose to go with it.
And a changeup gets him down and in. But Randy Arozarena gets another. Unreal. 10 this postseason. 3 in this World Series. And the Rays on top in Game 6. The great tradition of Cuban baseball that dates back to the late 1800s. And he is the latest star to come from Cuba. And man, are the Tampa Bay Rays glad to have him. Here's the Dodgers lineup. Mookie Betts leads it off. Corey Seager and Justin Turner. In the middle, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger. In the back end, Chris Taylor, A.J. Pollock, and Austin Barnes. Against the left-hander, 27 years old, 6'4", 225, Blake Snell.
Yeah, he's been awesome and really has a chance to quiet the power of this Dodger lineup.
That's down to bats for ball 1.
And Mookie really has struggled for whatever reason this year against left-handers, and in the postseason he has struggled. Not in his career, but for some reason this year just not locked in against lefties.
Mookie!
1 ball, 1 strike is that catches the mask of Zunino. Betts has been good with the bat. He's been phenomenal in the other phases of his game. His defense and right, his base running, stealing bases, he's had some hits. He's got just the 1 home run, and he's hitting .227 in this World Series.
Yeah, the only uncharacteristic things I've seen out of Mookie is the fact that he's swinging and missing a little more than we used to see him. Strikeouts are up. And you mentioned his average, but boy, does he cause pressure in every other aspect of his game.
2-1. 2-2. The Dodgers have been calling this ballpark, which I keep saying is beautiful because it is, home for exactly 3 weeks. The first game against the Padres was on October 6th, and here we are 21 days later. In San Diego, 3 straight, beat the Braves in 7. lead the Rays 3-2. And a strikeout starts the night for Snell. Seager will step in, answer 6 questions about tonight's matchup between the Rays and the Dodgers, and you can win $25,000. It's easy, free to play, so download the Fox Bet Super 6 app. There's still time to get your picks in for tonight's game. And you can play Fox Bet Super 6 for every World Series game. Will this be it, or will we reconvene here tomorrow night? Here's Seager. Strike hits the inside corner. Seager's got that little wiggle with his hands, a timing mechanism, but everything else is pretty quiet. And right now the ball looks huge. It chokes up just a hair on the bat. It has such control over the strike zone right now. And what I meant about Snell being able to neutralize the left-handed powers is because he has the weaponry to do it. There's the curveball, the sliders. When it's on, it's as hard as anybody can't hit it. And so for the Rays, they're going to want the left-handed power of the Dodgers to go quiet tonight. How about that start for Snell after his teammates got him one? Back-to-back strikeouts, the batter will be Turner. You were talking about the 2-out production in the open. Turner will bat with 2 down. The stats didn't fire, but we will give them to you.
One more, Dodgers, one more.
Bet strikes out. It's followed by the strikeout of Seager. But what the Dodgers have done with 2 outs this postseason is absolutely, it's unheard of.
No, it is unheard of. You're talking about doing it against an array of so many different pitchers and power pitchers. It is difficult to get a clean inning against the Dodgers, and that's what Snell's trying to do the first inning. I mean, honestly, I try to make the comparison so someone can understand. You go into Coors Field, and you can't get 3 clean outs. It's hard. The field's huge, the ball carries, and that's kind of what the Dodgers bring to every game, a Coors Field type feeling where, all right, looks like it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning, and then they snatch it.
So here we are, 2 strikes and 2 out. And with 2 out this postseason, 59 total runs, by far the most ever in a single postseason, more games. The average with runners in scoring position, phenomenal. And how about that last one? 2 strikes in this series with 2 out, hitting .366, 4 home runs. That's inside for ball 1.
Yeah, that last one is the one that gets you. That's the one you sit there and game plan all day for. Get them the 2 strikes, spin the breaking ball, and you got them. Well, they have battled, fouled off the pitcher's pitches and get the ones they want. Right now, you can see Blake Snell has a great feel for every pitch. He's thrown every pitch in this inning that he has.
He struck out the side. You can't do it any better. Good start, Snell, and Rays up 1 after 1 in Game 6. Brought to you by Camping World, making RVing fun and easy since 1966. And before the second inning, a reminder, don't forget, download the Fox Sports Samsung 5G View app for an all-new immersive fan experience. Available exclusively on 5G-enabled Android devices. 1-0 on the home run by Arozarena. Bottom 3 for the Rays in their lineup here in the second against Tony Gonsolin.
This is the guy for the Rays. If there's ever a shot to get going with the bat, and the lower part of the lineup hasn't had much production, their fearful leader and joyful leader has to get going at the plate.
Well, that's Willie Adames first up. Up on the count here, 2-0. He's hitting just .176. There are 3 exceptions with the average in the lineup for the Rays. Otherwise, it's a lot of averages well under 200 so far in this series, and that's off the end of the bat. Choi 143, Meadows 154, Lau 143, Mendel 133, Adames 176, Zunino 0.
And that's what I'm saying. If you saw those numbers and no one told you what the series results were, you'd say that team had to have gotten swept. But not only are they not swept, they found a way to win an incredible game. And then Snell's game was pitched great. They actually won that game pretty easily, and they're hoping that formula gets repeated tonight.
Two from Gonsolin, and struck him out looking. Three strikeouts now for the Dodger right-hander. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Ford, built Ford proud. By Indeed, upload your resume today. And by Steal a Base, Steal a Taco, only at Taco Bell. The National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation is on a mission to build a world-class museum amid the complex of the 3 sports stadiums here in Arlington, which will honor the fewer than 4,000 brave individuals who have earned our nation's highest award for valor in combat. The ties between baseball and the U.S. military span more than 150 years, and it will be on the other side of the old ballpark, which is right next door. Count's going to 2-0 on Kevin Kiermaier, as it was on Adames to start the inning.
Yeah, see, these are the counts you have to make work for you. You can't get too big when you're ahead in the count. When the Rays are ahead in the count, they got a fighting chance. When they get behind, with the exception of Arozarena and maybe Margot, the numbers really are against them.
Kiermaier trying to unload. He's been one of the bright spots, hitting .375. 6 hits, 2 of them home runs in this World Series. That is hard hit into right. It is over the head. That's one hops the wall. Betts gets it back in, but that is a 1-out double by Kiermaier.
And that's big. That's what the Rays have to do when they control the count. And now they've gotten some production out of the bottom part of their lineup, whereas the top of the lineup is going to come up and have a chance with the runners in scoring position if there's 2 outs. Of course, Zunino can change that if he can get a hit with the scoring position.
Third hit for the Rays, second extra base hit, and here is Zunino 0 for 13. We've said it every time he stepped to the plate, it feels like. Certainly in the LCS, and earlier this postseason, not a lot of hits, but he made them count. Including a home run in Game 7 against the Astros in the League Championship Series, Ball 1.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get the ball in the air, and you can tell that by his swing. That's why he's had a lot more swings and misses than normal. But if you keep a ball middle in, if you make a mistake in the middle of the plate, he definitely has the power.
There it goes down the line, but foul. Just tapped.
And that was the mistake. That was not supposed to be there. And unfortunately for Zunino, he wasn't able to keep that. Watch where this pitch is. See how it goes middle in? That is his nitro zone, and you just got to keep the ball out of there. Because now with 2, when you get a strike or 2 on him, you can expand the zone. He's not going to walk very often. He wants to swing.
Good speed on with Kiermaier. 1 out and a 1-1. 2-1. We've got Barnes behind the plate tonight, and if there is a Game 7 with Buehler, Barnes will be back there again tomorrow night. Barnes has kind of taken over the Buehler starts and has always been the catcher for Kershaw. 2-2 as he fooled him.
And see that changeup that Gonsolin has is a great weapon. He can throw it in various locations. It's a split change, and it comes out like a fastball and it just kind of disappears. When you're hunting fastballs like Zunino is, you're going to miss a lot of those if you're throwing the right spot in the zone.
A full count.
And that's a win for Zunino to get to 3-2. If you make quality pitches the way that he's been swinging the bat, you're not getting the 3-2. Now he feels like he's got a fighting chance. But remember, on the other side, if you're Tony Gonsolin, you don't necessarily have to throw a strike here. If you make it close, he's going to swing. And that's what you got to tell yourself.
Struck out 7 times. Among that 0 for 13, here's a 3-2 pitch. Just got a piece. Rays have pieced it together all season long. Had the 11th best average in the American League at 238. Led baseball in the most strikeouts by their hitters. They had the best record in the American League at 40-20 and won the AL East. They were the 3rd time in their franchise history by 7 games over the Yankees. They know how to make the most of what they get. Here's another 3-2 from Gonsolin. And that is missed, I guess, or it was tipped. The way Barnes reacted is thought maybe Zunino missed it, and Kiermaier took off for 3rd, but it's a foul ball. Let's take another look.
A high changeup that he catches the top half of the ball and he had that spin on it. I mean, he hits the absolute softest way you can with that big swing, but it did not hook. It did not stay fair.
I thought they might have come back and hit the catcher. Instead, it just stayed right there in front of the plate and spun foul. In the 8th pitch of this at bat. Struck him out. 2 down. And 4 strikeouts for Gonsolin. Back to the top in G-Man Choi. First time that Choi has hit leadoff this postseason. Started 7 games in the leadoff spot all during the regular season and hit 115 in that spot. Kevin Cash trying to change it up and give a different look to this lineup. Now asks for a big 2-out RBI hit. Everybody has been enamored with the athletic ability and how nimble this big guy who is 6'1", 260 has been so far this postseason. He can really move.
It's amazing to watch the transformation of his defense, and that's why he gets more playing time, because the defense was the biggest problem until the Rays got a hold of him.
One ball, 1 strike as Dylan Floro starts to get loose for the Dodgers in their pen.
Again, when you go over your scouting reports and you look at the numbers, you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get each guy out? Well, in this case, he's really good middle to down in the zone and down below the zone. So you saw that fastball up that he swung through and missed. You remember that. And if you get a chance with 2 strikes, you can utilize that as a weakness.
Kiermaier at second with 2 out. 1-1. 2-1.
What Tony did in the first at bat was utilize his ability to throw that changeup below the zone, thinking it was a fastball. Choi swung at it because he likes the ball down, and he wasn't able to get to it. Swung over the top of a couple changeups. next inning.
That would be Arozarena. Right now it's Choi. And here's a 2-1. That's foul. 2-2.
It's hard to pitch in this game knowing you're a pitch or two away from being taken out of the game. But that's kind of the situation that Tony, it's only, regular season game, this would be nothing. 1 run is nothing. Man on second, 2 outs, but this is not a regular season game. And Dave Roberts looks like he's not going to let his right-hander go very long or get in much more trouble.
You make no mistake. I mean, Dave Roberts is going for it tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got Walker Buehler ready tomorrow if he needs it. But he is going to unload if he sees a chance to take Game 6 and end it and leave his ace for 2021. Take on that man, Trevor Morton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 2 out. Joy. Nope.
Oh, man.
The ball was inside. A good slider to tie him in up. 2-2 would have been a chance to go up with a fastball and then maybe go follow it with an off-speed pitch, but now he's got a 3-2. You know he has a base open. He really doesn't want to have to face the next guy with first and second.
And he may not get the chance to. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and it's 2 on with 2 out. And we'll see if that's it for Gonsolin. He's picked up 5 outs, and he's finished. Arozarena is coming up, the biggest threat. And the Rays line up the biggest threat in any lineup. Dylan Floro coming in, 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 Rays in the second. Well, there was nobody on when Arozarena homered in the first inning. Now he's got 2 on with 2 out. And this is an early opportunity to really relieve the pressure on Blake Snell.
As great as Randy has been, runners in scoring position has not been his thing, which is weird.
Takes a strike. He's got 10 home runs and 14 RBIs this postseason. Dylan Floro is right into the heat here in the second. Kiermaier on a 1-out double. Troy drew the walk and that chased Gonsolin. Here's an 0-1.
Right.
Strike 2.
Changeup is the one pitch of all the pitches he has struggled with. He's been locked in against everything else. Changeups and cutters off the right-handed pitches.
A very calm Arozarena swings, foul tips. Barnes collapse, and the inning is over. Floro coming in. Dispatches of a Randy Arozarena. Good work by the Dodger right-hander. 1-0 after 1 out. Arozarena struck out with 2 on at the top of the inning, and Floro's the guy who got it done. We'll show you how here in a moment as Max Muncy is first up for the Dodgers. Down by a run, leading the World Series 3-2, and ball 1 up.
Muncie's coming on of late. 268 overall in the postseason. 150 walks, it seems like.
1-1. Always ahead on the count. We've seen 20 home runs total in this World Series. And the ball that Muncie hit in the 5th inning, which was basically a knockout blow against Glasnow 2 nights ago. The highest exit velocity of all of them at 111 plus. Here's a 2-1. That is a little run. Snell makes a nice play. Wow. Let's go back to the Arozarena and back in Dylan Floro.
Now this is simply executing your 3 pitches, and they're the same pitch. Change up, change up, change up. And this last one went lower. He just started the first one a little high and then went lower each time. And that's how you execute a guy's weakness. And he did it about as good as you can in 3 straight pitches. There's the change-up grip. A high leverage situation right away for Mr. Floro, and he handled it brilliant.
Will Smith stands in, the DH. That's down for ball 1. Smith with 13 hits this postseason and a 5-hit game against San Diego. So all these other games, just a total of 8. 1 home run this postseason. 2 in the postseason, 1 in the World Series, trying to lock in on Snell, and he's up on the count here 2-0.
He's been much better this postseason, left-handed, off of left-handed pitchers, hit 320, right-handers, really struggled. He's had a lot of good at-bats, but other than that 5-hit game, it's been far and few between for Will Smith.
2-0 pitch is on the outside corner. Barely. 2-1.
I always find catchers have the hardest time in the batter's box questioning pitches, because whatever they don't like, they're hoping they're going to get for their starter when you're catching. Obviously, Will's not catching today. He's DHing. Point still stays the same when you're out there hitting. You want those same pitches that you may not agree for your starting pitcher when you go back on the dish.
Yeah, for the guy that's breathing down your neck all night. That's Jerry Meals tonight. The count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another strikeout for Snell. 4 in the 5 outs he's picked up.
Well, here's what you're going to be seeing if you're the hitter. You got a fastball that comes at you with a curveball break of that. Now that is a time of very little time to make up the difference between the two, and that is why he's on his game tonight. That's why he's so difficult. High fastball looks good, but then he'll drop that curveball right after it, and you don't have much time to decipher whether that pitch is going to break, stay in the zone or not. The reason I feel like Blake Snell is on his game, he has the touch of a changeup. He's not overthrowing and missing wild with his fastball, and he's already pounded his slider and curveball. So if you're the Rays, you're like, all right, this is the start we hope for. We can get some more runs, add some cushion, let him pitch 5 or 6 innings.
2 quick strikes on Cody Bellinger as he faces the 2018 Cy Young Award winner from the American League, Blake Snell. 21-game winner 2 years ago. ERA under 2 in 31 starts.
He doesn't even have to mess around here with 2 strikes.
Made it look easy. He has struck out 5 through 2. 3rd inning rolls in, game 6. Tampa Bay up 1. Before we start the 3rd inning, We remind you, for unique content and hot stove updates during the off-season, follow @MLB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. As Alex Wood, we're in the third inning, and here's the third pitcher of the night for the Dodgers. He's been very good with his stuff this postseason.
Yeah, funky mechanics and hard to hit if you're lefties, but that's what he's in to get.
And the hitter Meadows went around on that, according to the home plate umpire. At least went too far. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Meadows, then Lau. Then Margot. If anybody gets on, another lefty, Wendell. Hence the lefty Wood, and the count 1-2.
That's what Dave Roberts wants to do, is get through these 3 hitters, and we'll see what he does with the rest. I mean, Wood.
Boy, that was filthy. 6 strikeouts for Alex Wood. In now 5 total innings, 1 down.
Of course, starter most of his career. You can see how funky he is to locate where the ball's coming. Slider down and away, nowhere close to the plate.
Brings in Lau. Brandon takes the ball outside. Wood is only 29 years old. Here's one that Wood has to field, has plenty of time to look for out number 2. Which came up with Atlanta in 2013 and into the game here in the 3rd tonight.
Need to focus on the game? Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
I'm working the heck out of that button this month.
Yeah, I bet. Mine just went to that. Is that possible? Off the TV?
Anything's possible, John. Don't you know that by now? Anything is possible.
Well, that's what the Rays are hoping. They're hoping that they have the right mixture in these next 2 games to pull off an improbable year when you think about their offense. They left spring training, the 2nd spring training, they knew their strengths. Every player knew their strengths, and they started off offensively really bad. Talking to Kevin Cash, like, I don't know where we're going to get our offense from. Well, then he kicked in with a bunch of homers and timely hitting, and it's carried through the postseason in a way that their stomachs, I don't know how they do it, but they're confident in these kind of games.
There's a strike to make it 2-1 and they'll go.
2-1, 2-0, 1-run games. It's right up their alley because of who's coming out of the pen and the defense they play.
Here's one into right center field. Bellinger to his left. First one.
Go Dodgers!
Dodger pitcher. It's game 6 of the 116th World Series. Tampa Bay trying to force a game 7, leading by 1. Solidified his spot in Cardinal lore after Kirby Puckett hit a home run to force a game 7. That year, John was
Blocked out.
that year, 1991.
That year doesn't. Yeah, it was 1991.
But forced, one of your best efforts the next night.
Epic game 7.
Taylor hits it into left center field, and the Dodgers have their first runner of the night. Breaking ball with Hunt, and Taylor shot it to the left of Adames. Leadoff man is on, and Snell says, no problem.
Taylor needed that. He's been in the swing and miss mode. Getting a hit right there and feeling it off the bat's got to feel pretty good for him. And when you look at these 2 lineups, from the bottom of this lineup comes a lot more production. That's why the Dodgers have been collectively tougher offensively than the Rays have.
We'll bring in A.J. Pollock. If you had to put money on it, unless Pollock just has a great first half of this ball game, he is getting the start, but likely won't end the ball game in the lineup. Manager Dave Roberts looking for the right spot to get John Peterson in the ballgame and Kike Hernandez, and that'll come once the bullpen brigade starts for the Rays.
Yeah, both them, especially that guy right there. He's been unreal this postseason, and in his career in the postseason, he seems to, the lights come on, and he shows up in a big way.
First pitch is strike to Pollock, who hit 16 home runs in the regular season.
And lit up left-handers in the regular season. This year it's been the opposite in the postseason. He's had a much better time of it against right-handers than he has the left-handers. Hit 143 this postseason.
That's not good when you're splitting time with the lefty Peterson. That is chopped foul, strike 2. For 4 in the series, 9 for 39, 2 RBIs, but hitting .231 this postseason. Came up with Arizona in 2012 in his second year in a Dodger uniform. Five times on the injured list. Trying to figure out a way to stay healthy and produce, and he did that this year.
I just feel like in this series, when you reach Game 6, the more nervous I would get if I was a pitcher, especially late as this game might get, is beating the shift. Nobody shifts more than these kind of teams and these hitters in this park. Someone's going to beat the shift at a crucial time, and it's going to be a painful memory for one of these clubs. It's just a feeling I've got. You know, you can get away with it in Game 2, Game 3, but when you're on the brink of elimination or trying to win a World Series,
because just to ask you this and take it one step further, you say you get nervous as a pitcher later in the ball game, either trying to win a World Series or stave off elimination. The shift is dependent on how you're also going to pitch the hitter. And if you're nervous, you may not make the pitch you should make, and now you're giving up a hit where you wouldn't typically give it up.
That's part of it, correct. But I think that if someone's got something in their back pocket, I believe there's about 5 guys on each of these teams that could deliberately get a hit if they wanted to. And it's not necessarily right here. You can cover right here. I'm talking 6th, 7th, 8th inning when these come up. But the unintended, the accidental hit, you know, when you make your pitch, but the shifts over the course of 162 and in this case 60 games definitely play out in your favor, 100%. But that's an accumulation of games that don't have the magnitude that what these two teams are dealing with right now.
Here are the numbers of why the shift is on, playing Pollock to pull. Taylor has not attempted a steal this postseason. 2 out of 4 during the 60-game regular season. And getting a lot of attention from Blake Snell. One thing we haven't wanted to touch on with these smaller crowds. About 11,000 in the ballpark tonight. These pitchers and the hitters can hear everything that's being yelled at them from the opposing dugout.
Yeah, it's an unusual scenario, even though you're in this kind of cone of focus, a hyper-focus, because these games create that a regular season just really doesn't.
Reached out to grab it, 1 on, 1 out.
Just speaking, when you mentioned that 1991, I mean, it was a dome. It was super loud as you watch this line drive really flush. It was so loud, you and I couldn't have a conversation on the bench. And I remember just being out on the mound and this buzz, and it was a dull roar. That means you're doing your job. If it's a loud roar, that's when players, that's what we're missing here, right? Young players don't have that going against them per se, and it's an interesting dynamic that all the players have gotten used to.
This is the only ballpark where many players have played in front of fans in 2020. And tonight, because of the weather was horrible today. It's in the 30s and rainy. The roof is closed. So they told everybody coming in the ball wouldn't travel. Don't tell that to Arozarena.
I found myself watching him in batting practice and the line drives that he was hitting were unlike anybody else's line drives.
And he makes a big outfield look really small. Right now it's Snell. 1 on, 1 out. And the 0-1 to the number 9 hitter, Austin Barnes, is in for strike 2.
That's the pitch I've been most impressed with. In a pressure game, elimination game, sometimes you know you're going to have your fastball and slider go to, but it's that changeup touch pitch. He hasn't cut any of those. He's pitched that pitch about as well as you can. And again, mentioning about the Dodgers, if you are confined to throwing them fastballs, you're in trouble.
Chopped to third, tough little pickup by Randall, wide throw, and the tag by G-Man Choi, 2 down.
Well, big play to get a runner at second, even though they got the runner out at first. This is where Mookie Betts has been at his best. He doesn't have the, the greatest postseason that we're accustomed to average-wise. We watch this play windows as good as anybody. Mookie has been good with runners in scoring position.
Choi has been really good at this, coming off the bag and making tags that, in fact, went up earlier in this World Series into the air and tagged Mookie Betts going by. With Betts at the plate, tying run at second with 2 out. Betts struck out his first time. Takes a strike at 97. This is where you formulate your game plan as a pitcher. You know all the situations facing, what they can do and what they can't. You save something for this exact situation when you're thinking about each hitter. All right, Mookie Betts in scoring position. Here's how I'm going to try to get him out differently than I would just leading off the game. Seven RBIs this postseason, a big one sitting out there right now with 2 out.
The question will be for Blake Snell, does he save the curveball when he gets to 2 strikes? Sometimes you don't get to 2 strikes without using that pitch.
Good take by Betts, 2-1. Zunino, we've talked about it, but we're in the 6th game of this series. He hasn't hit, but when anything has been in the dirt, he's turned himself into a wall back there.
There's the curveball.
Here's a 2-1 to Betts. 95 right down the middle and a 2-2 count.
That is just a product of Mookie looking for something else, because he throws him with a fastball, as you mentioned, down the middle, trying to go away. You can definitely do that before 2 strikes, but then with 2 strikes, you gotta look for fastball, and then adjust as a hitter. Most will tell you that's exactly what they got to do against a pitcher like Blake Snell.
Another strikeout for Snell. 6, and he's gotten benched twice. After strike there first, we will play our 3. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Major League Baseball encourages fans to take an active role in their communities and make a plan to vote. This election season, visit MLB.com/vote to learn more. As a strike is into Joey Wendell. 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Tampa Bay Rays. And for our guest on the headset, he hopes many more. Kevin Cash, you've got to be thrilled with the way your left-hander, Blake Snell, was working here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been outstanding. Kind of picked up right where he left off from Game 2. We just got to give him a little support on the offensive side.
Yeah, and you've been looking for that really all postseason. Amazing. I'm sure you don't get tired of talking about it. Randy Arozarena just flicking that ball out to right. He looks like he's been doing this his whole life. He's a rookie.
It's some kind of special. No words can describe it. He's picked us up in so many ways, and hopefully the rest of the guys can get on his back. Because we've been on his back the entire postseason, I think.
But just keep riding. Here's Adames now, and here's a guy you would love to get going.
Yeah, no doubt. And he will. He's going to come up with a big hit with some guys on base here eventually. And I think that'll just kind of release and take some pressure off of him.
Did you know you're the first man to play in the Little League World Series, play in the College World Series, Florida State, and manage in the MLB World Series?
I had heard that, and I tell everybody, it's not a good thing when you peak at 11 years old.
No, that's not true. You're being humble. Hey, thanks for the time, and thanks for being so gracious throughout this entire postseason. You're fun to cover, and good luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, now nobody on here in the 4th inning. 1-0. Rays lead, and now 2 outs. Second strikeout for Wood as he works his 2nd inning.
Wood has been nasty, and so has Blake Snell. When you're in rhythm, you don't mind pitching in a 1-0 game. I'm telling you, most pitchers will tell you, if it's tight for about 4 or 5 innings, perfect. Then add on. And then it just feels like that it's a 7-run lead.
There's a strike to Kiermaier.
But we did talk, with Kevin, and this type of score, this type of game was going to be the toughest to manage.
I know the game has changed a lot in the short time, John, you've been out.
Yeah.
But I feel like you would have liked playing for Kevin Cash.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, anytime a manager feels and knows how hard the game is and really has the heartbeat of his club and believes in his players, you can't help but want to do everything you can for that kind of manager.
And these guys all feel that way. Kevin Cash is a big reason why the Rays are playing the 6th game in the World Series.
Yep.
That's right.
Two perfect innings coming up for the Dodger left-hander. 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. That means Corey Seager up first. Still 1-0. Rays. CS. Going to hear, and that will give you our Chevy MVP watch on the Dodgers side. In this World Series, Seager, in my mind, is leading that race. Kershaw, Turner, Muncy for Tampa Bay. Arozarena, and who else?
Could be Blake Snell if he keeps striking out the world.
Yeah, good point. He struck out 6. Seager up there ready to hit. Fouls it away to strike 1.
Tough matchup for Seager, but he hasn't seen anybody that has been too tough on him in the postseason. This will be the toughest. The angle of which Snell throws the breaking ball that he has, really tough for the left-hander to pick it up. It looks like when he delivers, he's going to dip that front shoulder, but he does a great job staying in balance. You'll see that Blake Snell has such an electric fastball. It comes out of the backside right here. A little dip, and then he wham! That's how he gets so much arm speed. The problem with it is if you're off just a little bit and you leap too quickly towards home, that's when his stuff gets average. Well, that hasn't been the case tonight.
One, two. Abe Juraseski and the Sports Radar crew helping us throughout this postseason. There's a card that says the ERA by inning for Blake Snell, regular and postseason, innings 1 through 3, 0.90, including tonight. 7.24 ERA from inning 4 on. This stuff tonight just looks different. And the strikeout is number 7 on the night.
Before this batter, this is how he got his strikeouts, and he did a great job of mixing it up. A changeup, fastball. He had 4 strikeouts with fastballs. And as I said, if you don't get the secondary pitches all over, you're not going to be able to throw the fastballs. There's the breakdown. And for Blake Snell, he has been on attack. He has thrown strikes, and here's the breaking ball for the last one. You've got to neutralize the left-handers for the Dodgers, and he has done that and more.
One out, nobody on. That skips in there for ball 1. That's always kind of the other side to the analytics. That's all history. You know, the ERA innings 1 through 3 compared to 4 on. This is now, and right now, Blake Snell is as good as any pitcher you'll find walking the planet the way he's throwing.
And you know the biggest key about everything that he's done? 45 pitches. So you can throw that right out the window when you get to the 3rd time through the lineup. I get it what this says over the course of 162, or in this case 60. Look, sometimes your eyes will win out. And the hardest part about Kevin Cash's job is he's got tremendous arms in the pen. And the eagerness to get to it probably is in his forefront of his mind. He's worked out 20 scenarios. Before this game was played, they worked out at least 20 different scenarios of what if this guy comes up, this is what we want to do. Sometimes, as a starting pitcher, you can eliminate 10 of those or 15 of those and make it a little easier on your manager if you do.
We asked him what would be the toughest decision you think tonight when we talked to him 5 hours ago.
Come on, Turner!
He's staring at it. It's 1-0 in the 4th is what he said.
2-2, and he said, you know, if I know that Blake has got more to give, but I need a big out with a certain matchup, and he's got Castillo or somebody else ready to Fairbanks in the bullpen, that's going to be the hardest decision if he knows that Snell has more gas in the tank.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any room for error, right? He's down 3 games to 2. He needs to force a game 7.
He's just tying these Dodger hitters in knots. That is strikeout number 8, out number 2. And the inning will continue from Muncie. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by MasterCard. Tom Verducci, what are you seeing down there?
Well, Rays pitching coach Kyle Snyder told me the stuff that Blake had in Game 2 was the best he's had since the second half of his Cy Young season. Tonight, it's even better. And what he liked especially about the matchup of Snell against this Dodger lineup is that Blake has more weapons than any other Rays pitcher. 4 to right-handed hitters, 3 to left-handers. And he's landing all of them tonight. The hitting coach for the Dodgers, Robert Von Scoyoc, told me hitting against Blake Snell is like playing chess. And right now, Blake is controlling the middle of the board with all of his pitches. I have not seen the Dodgers take as many off-balance swings in the whole postseason as I've seen tonight. And just to give you an idea, Joe, on a slider especially, Mookie Betts, until the World Series, had swung and missed that 1 left-handed slider all year. He's missed 2 from Blake Snell.
And he struck out twice. Top 3 in the lineup. 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. There's a 2-0 to Muncie, and it's 2-1.
But Blake has shown that ability to mix and match in the strike zone and then the kill switch, like throwing it out of the zone to 2 strikes. He's not messing around. That's why he only has 52 pitches. And the ability that he has to hit with his secondary stuff is similar to what the Braves were able to do to the Dodgers the first 2 games of the previous series.
He falls behind, he comes right back and evens the count. 97, too much for Muncy there, 2-2.
Max Fried threw the most curveballs, breaking balls he had ever thrown, and it was successful in game 1. Now, it didn't turn that way for the second time, and facing Blake Snell this time, the second time, he's been even better. And that changeup, I think, has been such a big weapon tonight that it's really messed with the Dodgers. Whenever you jump off the mound like that, you realize you have tried to throw the very best breaking ball you can, and he was frustrated because whenever he's been willing to pull somebody away, he's made that pitch. This one didn't give Muncy a chance. Blake knew it.
In the ball game. Pitch count is down. Velocity is up. So are the Rays' hopes. Stay tuned for the 5th inning giveaway from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World. Roof is closed. 1-0. Tampa Bay on top. We're into the 5th inning of Game 6 as the Rays try to force a winner-take-all tomorrow night. Pedro Baez is the 4th pitcher tonight. Wood was perfect. And Baez deals to Zunino. And that's strike 1. Zunino, then Choi, then Arozarena.
Well, Baez is in there because he can throw that pitch, that changeup again. We've seen the neutralizer against Arozarena with the changeups out of Floro, and now you got the Baez changeup. No.
He could also get it up there in the mid-90s. That fastball missed. G-Man Choi is on deck. Here's a 1-1 to Zunino.
Slipped and threw a gem. That was, you don't see that very often. He let go of it and then just kind of rolled on his spike. But he got away with a fastball that typically is at 95. He threw it 89 because he didn't have his footing.
Once he walked a couple steps in to make sure Baez was okay, and not a 1-2. A strikeout starts the inning. And they bring in the big leadoff man, 6'1", 260, but he can move as he has proven night after night. Nobody on, and Choi 0 for 1. His walk as he pops it up. That's an easy second out. His walk chase the starter Gonsolin, and since then, Floro to Wood, now Baez has been perfect. And Arozarena will walk in. He is homered and struck out. Here's Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, the Rays were on Arozarena early. His first spring training in the United States, the spring of 2017, a Rays scout named J.D. Ellaby filed a very favorable report on him. Tyler Storr, another Rays scout, backed that up with an equally glowing report after seeing Arozarena in A-ball in the Florida State League. As time went on, the Rays, in watching film of Arozarena in the Cardinals system, noticed that he started to make more contact, and that as he started to make more contact, he was hitting the ball harder. They viewed him as a premium athlete with emerging baseball skill. They believed he could develop into a solid regular. They never expected this.
He's just 25 years old, born in Havana. And when you look at his minor league numbers, it's not like he didn't hit. I mean, it's not like this has come totally out of nowhere, but at this level, at this time of the year, his home run back in the first inning, the only run of the night, his 10th of the postseason, as he continues to add to all of these postseason records he is racking up.
He just isn't jumping, and obviously you can't be if you're going to hit 10 home runs and hit with the average he has this postseason. Even the pitches that he's tracked that he thought might not be a strike, he comes right back if they throw it close to that area. And the only pitch, again, the only pitch he has really struggled with is a changeup. And not everybody on the Dodgers has that kind of changeup. Pedro does, however.
Arozarena sitting on something here with a count of 2-1, and he takes a strike. He didn't like the call. His last year in the minor leagues, John, in Springfield, he hit 309. Memphis hit 358, but the Cardinals at the end of the year hit 300. Gets traded, and now he's got just about every hitting record, total bases, hits, and home runs in a single postseason. Here's a 2-2. Hard hit, another hit. A 2-2 pitch, and Randy Arozarena has got to make people in the Cardinals front office turn off their TV.
Yeah, he got a high changeup right there. Lucky that that ball stayed on the ground and not in the air. And he won't be at first base long. He's got to steal second against Baez, and may not even get a chance. They're going to take him out, but just another hit.
Baez is gone with Meadows coming up. And a pitching change here in the 5th inning as the left-hander Victor Gonzalez comes into the ballgame. 1 on, 2 out, still 1-0. Tampa Bay on top.
Come on, Victor. Vamos, Cora. Come on, Piel de Ángel. El corneta y el corne.
Baez goes 2/3 of an inning, allows a 2-out hit to Arozarena, and that brings in Austin Meadows. And Meadows stays in to face the left-hander Gonzalez.
The only thing you got to tell yourself if you're Gonzalez, don't leave a fastball or anything middle to middle in against the left-hander. Everything should be away or up, and you'll be okay based on the scouting report.
And there's a ground ball to the right side, and coming out of the the end of the top of the 5th. Bottom half rolls in. Dodgers back down.
No report. Que no tienes que pichar. No se la agarró.
Strikeout starts the 9th for Snell.
That's nasty.
He struck out the side. You can't do it any better. He's just tying these Dodger hitters in knots.
How do you like that?
Well, Blake Snell has become the second pitcher in World Series history with 9 strikeouts through the first 4 innings of a ball game. The other, Sandy Koufax in '63. World Series Game 1 against the Yankees. That was a championship season for the Dodgers. Here is Will Smith trying to bunt his way on it. And he fouls at strike 1. The Dodgers franchise has won 6 World Series, 55 in Brooklyn, then moving to LA in 58, and then 59, 63, 65, 81, and then 88. 32 years ago. Well, 1 pitch to Will Smith, one of the 9 strikeout picked up tonight by Snell. John Hodges widow of the late great Gil Hodges, the powerful, graceful first baseman, and the beloved leader of one of baseball's most beloved teams, the Boys of Summer. Dodgers of the 1950s. Joan lives in the same house in Flatbush, Brooklyn, that she shared with Gil, and Joan watches all of these games, rooting for the Dodgers. So hello. And who knows how this one's going to end up, Joan, or Dodger fans or Ray fans?
Well, you know, this game reminds me so much of, although be at the LCS, the game that Steve Avery pitched on the road against the Pirates, 0-0 in the ninth. He wins 1-0, trying to give us a chance to pitch Game 7. And I said there's a comp, you know, that Avery and Blake Snell. And when you're in a game like this, Blake Snell does not, I bet you he does, he knows consciously what the score is, but he absolutely knows that he's in a rhythm and the score, he's comfortable. It's 1-0, but he's completely comfortable because he's in command of everything.
Point umpire Jared Meal says, that's low. Ball 1 to Bellinger, who struck out his first time and missed. Whoop. Incoming. Wasp. Hopefully it's not a murder hornet. But it is 2020. And by the way, Cody missed the Wasp. We're going to look up in that.
No, definitely not.
1-0 pitch on the way, and a pop-up down the left field line. That will get out of play.
One ball, one strike. But just to finish up that point, when you're in a game like this, you're not thinking, oh, one swing ties it up. You're thinking, they're not getting hit off me. And if they're not getting hit off me, they're not going to score. And I know that Blake Snell knows that chances are he's not going to be given the opportunity to go 8 or 9. But if he could pitch 6, maybe 7, that allows Kevin Cash to turn it over to his flamethrowers in the pen. Hard for me to take him out anytime soon, that's for sure.
1-1 pitch is fouled back. The last time Blake Snell went a full 6 innings was July of 2019.
He had some injuries, of course, that he's been dealing with. He wasn't completely right to start this year. And he mentioned to us that it wasn't until recently that he feels he is really where he should be. September, something clicked late September for him.
2-2. I mentioned Joan Hodges. Do you know who her nephew is?
I do not.
Yeah, you know him.
I probably will once you tell me the name.
He's on our crew. Him.
Really?
Tom Bernucci.
Oh.
Well, we don't have his mic open. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, nobody on. Hanging grounded, it's fair, and that's out number 2. Say hi to your aunt, Tom.
Yeah. Shout out to Aunt Joan. The best. Love you.
I mean, who knew?
I did, and now I do. That's locked.
I gotta tell you,
in my memory.
If Joan Hodges was my aunt, you'd know that Joan Hodges was my aunt. It'd be one of the first things I'd say. Here's Taylor with 2 out, nobody on. Chris has the only hit, the only base runner tonight. He hit a hanging breaking ball into left center field for a single leading off the 3rd, and then was stuck at first. He homered off Snell back in Game 2. And that was kind of the beginning of the end of the night for Blake, who did not get through the required 5 innings to be eligible for the win.
And I'll bet he'll go to his slider before he goes to his curveball again against Taylor.
We're just working the corners at 95 as the count evens 1-1. Back in that third inning tonight, the single, Pollock hit a rope caught by the third baseman Wendell. Barnes grounded out. That moved Taylor down to second, and Mookie Betts struck out. So the Dodgers have had a man in scoring position. 0 for 1 tonight, and that was Betts. That's inside, 2-1 on Taylor. When you've got John Smoltz saying wow all over a live pitch, you're pitching well. 2-2.
It's just smooth, and everything in his mechanics is right on point. Right, it's the same thing when a hitter's hot. There's no in between. And really, he's only made one bad pitch, and that was the single he gave up to Taylor.
Every time a ball hits the dirt, it's gone. Would you want to use a baseball that touched dirt when you were pitching?
Oh yeah, I got a funny story I'll tell you. Can't tell it now. It's 2 strikes, 2 outs.
But I mean, if it touches, it's gone.
Yeah.
Out of the game.
That progressively has happened over the years, of course.
Here is a 3-2 pitch. And a check swing, Snell. This is his night so far, huh? 5 innings in the books. He's allowed 1 hit, no runs, struck out 9. He and the Rays lead Game 6, 1-0. Rays fans, if there's no Game 7 tomorrow, we'll have an all-new episode of TV's #1 show, The Masked Singer, followed by a new episode of I Can See Your Voice. The Rays win tonight. We have Game 7 tomorrow. The Masked Singer and I Can See Your Voice will be back 1 week from tomorrow, right here on Fox. 6th inning, 1-0. On a home run by Arozarena in the first inning. And Gonzalez back to work and hammering at the first pitch is loud.
Vamos, Gonzo!
So you asked about the ball.
Yes.
I got a ball after a ground ball, perfect spot from the left panel of the baseball, the scuff mark. And like golf and like baseball, the ball was the opposite way of a ball that's scuffed up. I think I threw 7 consecutive pitches that were swings and misses. I just kept throwing split after split. Chipper was young then. He was playing third base. Little ground ball foul. He picked it up and threw it in the stands. I almost fought him on the field. And he was like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about?" I said, "Don't ever throw a ball away. Make them throw it away." That's the time he threw it in the stands.
Using a scuff mark to your advantage. Nothing to the count on Lau, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a comebacker against Alex Wood, who was great.
Yeah, Wood was great. He creates that unique angle that the Rays have utilized in their whole pen. Gonzalez, a converted starter, put him in the pen. They love his stuff. He's had to get some big outs this postseason.
That last one bounced in there, so Jerry Meals threw it back. Meals, the home plate umpire, is going to need to ice down after tonight's game. Bruce Graterol getting loose as there's another one in the dirt. Jerry. This time it's Barnes that throws the new ball to the pitcher and the old ball to the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Will Margot and Joey Wendell the next 2. Good pitch by Gonzalez one away. And the batter will be Margot. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile, your ticket to the game with America's largest 5G network. And by Dell Technologies, when it comes to your business, we'll stop at nothing. The fans have been great here.
Yes, they have.
The staff at this ballpark has been fantastic. This has been the perfect host city for the NLCS and now the World Series.
Sure has. And this game's not filled with nerves, by the way. This is filled with nasty pitching. We got to be headed towards an all-time strikeout record for a World Series game, I would imagine. I mean, every arm that's come in, very little mistakes. And that guy right there is locked in. Probably won't look at the scoreboard one time. Doesn't need to.
In fact, as we play here in the top of the 6th, Dodger pitchers have struck out more Rays hitters than Blake Snell has against the Dodgers. Snell just went through a strikeoutless inning for the first time tonight. He has struck out 9 in the Dodger pitching. Gonsolin, Floro, Wood, Baez, and Gonzalez have struck out 10.
Yeah, the Rays have done a nice job, even though the offense has led the Dodgers to a 3-2 lead. Coming into the postseason, the Dodgers were one of the hardest teams in all of baseball to strike out. Well, not the case for the Rays. They were the easiest. But the strikeouts coming into this game were really close between both of the teams. That's foul. I think the Rays had a small advantage of the more strikeouts than the Dodgers by 4 or 5, but to throw a lot of that out the window if the Rays are able to try to figure out or piece together this gem and force a Game 7. Charlie Morton's in the position of hoping to benefit to pitch another Game 7 situation. He is on more pins and needles than Walker Buehler is, because Buehler has the luxury of his team winning tonight and not having to pitch. So you're in that mode of kind of getting ready, kind of involved in the game, but not too much. Stoic, waiting your turn if it's called upon.
There's like an ode to Fernando Valenzuela by Gonzalez as he spun. I didn't see him look to the sky, but he spun all the way around and delivered it low for ball 1.
Fernando and Loup tee on it.
And a new baseball. 1-2 on Margot, who is 0 for 2. I hope they brought a nice supply of baseballs here tonight.
I forget the number, someone can look it up for us, but there's an unbelievable amount of dozens of baseballs that go through a game just for what you mentioned. You know, balls that are hit play off the dirt, they don't stay in play very long unless you strike a guy out and he doesn't make contact with any of those. You get to keep the baseball.
Here's the 2-2 and a strikeout for Gonzalez. Now he has struck out the first 2 of the 6th. And that's 11 strikeouts of Rays hitters. But the story of the night, as we look at our game summary, is that man, Blake Snell. 5 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, no walks, low pitch count. And Arozarena doing his thing, and the Dodgers looking for their first World Series win since '88, 32 years ago. They're tied here. This is the only run of the night with 1 out in the first inning. Arozarena with his 10th postseason home run the other way. It's down to Wendell, ball 1.
So here's the deal: when people are going to be sitting at home, and at some point Blake Snell is going to be taken out. And at some point in this series, when people have taken out certain pitchers, you sit there and go, why, how, what? It's not the physical tiredness. It's the mental tiredness. It's the mental grind of every pitch, attention to detail in a 1-0 game that gets you a little bit more fatigued mentally. But there's not a physical tiredness, especially with the shorter season. There is a compromised season of making adjustments, but it's not your pitch 240 and at the end of your tank. So it won't be a physical issue. It'll be more of a mental issue of grinding on pitches in a close game that I'm sure Kevin Cash will be looking at.
got weapons in his pen rack. I'm not trying to hide those guys. They feature him. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Wendell. Strike two. How about the work done by Floro, Wood, Baez, now Gonzalez.
Great job.
They've combined to allow one hit. That was Arozarena that chased Baez. 6 strikeouts over the last 3 2/3. Here's a 1-2.
Well, as long as the Rays have a lead, he won't make, Kevin, I don't think he'll make many changes into his offense because he has the lead. If he was needing some rally or runs, I wouldn't think some of these left-handers would face a left-hander, but he has that 1-0 lead.
Two-2 pitch.
Come on, motherfucker. That's right. That's right, Vic. Mexican flag.
All night against the Dodgers. Against Blake Snell. 1-0 Tampa Bay at the Fox Sports 5G View, powered by Samsung Galaxy. Download the all-new app for an interactive fan experience that you can control from around the diamond in real time. Available only on 5G-enabled Android devices. 1 hit for the Dodgers, 4 for the Rays. The only hit that is counted for anything, the hit that left the park. Off the bat of Randy Arozarena in the first.
If you're the Dodgers, you're going to have to get aggressive early on the first pitch. Pick one out and try to do damage with it.
It's Pollock, and he picked one out. No damage. Out behind second base. Lau puts it away. 1 pitch. 1 out in the 6th. The batter will be Austin Barnes, the number 9 man. And now a quick word from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
1 in 5 U.S. kids may not be able to afford to play next season. Together, we can help little leaguers in your community. Grab your phone and text, and T-Mobile will donate.
The reason I say that is because their MO has always been work the comp, get deep. Well, guess what that did for them early on? There was a lot of strikeouts, and especially these 2 hitters I thought would be aggressive. Good pitch selection by Blake Snell in that first pitch.
Here's Barnes showing bunt, taking the ball high. We've already set a record for a World Series game through 6 innings. We're only in the bottom half of the 6th with 21 combined strikeouts. By Dodger hurlers, 9 by number 4, who finds the bottom corner of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike on Barnes.
Yeah, he's done a great job jumping out early with all those strikeouts. You can still get a lot of outs without getting the K ball, and that would be the recipe for Blake Snell with nobody on.
Nick Anderson getting loose.
Just amazing. The very scenario Kevin Cash was dreading out of 20 of them is kind of this one.
Here's one into center, and the number 9 man, Barnes, is aboard with 1 out in the 6th. Here we go. 73 pitches, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. Still can't believe it. As Kevin Cash said, these guys need short memories and thick skin because this is the way we do it. We'll see how it works out. That was the reaction when they saw this manager coming to get the baseball as the Rays dip into their bullpen here in the 6th inning. Up 1. At least 3 opinions on what we just saw transpire. A 1-out hit by Austin Barnes. Back to the top of the order, Nick Anderson comes into the game. His numbers very different than the regular season. Snell is now in the dugout watching after initially walking through the dugout and up the tunnel. As Mookie Betts considered the fact that Snell held the top 3 hitters in this Dodger lineup tonight to 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. Yeah, general rules. Tell you right after this pitch. It's a 1-0 to Betts. 1-0, 2-0. The conventional wisdom of any time you take somebody out that makes the other team happy that you took them out, the guy that comes in better be just as nasty. And they have that. They do have that. But in a series of 3 games to 2, we talked through the scenario with Kevin Cash, and he was not bashful in being able to tell us this is what he was going to do if the situation called for it. Here's a 2-0.
Let's go, Dodgers!
2-0 fastball. Mookie Betts all over it. And these are all over the place. And an easy double could have been a nightmarish runs tie scoring scenario for the Dodgers. Adames if he doesn't get there, Snell and get to the ball, they may send Barnes. Betts is fighting back a smile as he comes over to Friedman, his first base coach. And here's the thing, I know you said it. We talked to Kevin Cash about this. This was his biggest worry, Snell having more in the tank. I don't think anybody said no runs, 2 singles, 9 strikeouts, no walks. And he said he was a tough matchup for Betts. He struck out Betts twice. And now Seager will dig in, and that's another tough matchup for the Dodgers. But they have to face now Anderson instead of Snell. You have a rhythm pitcher in rhythm. It's Snell. And you're hoping that your pitchers have that same rhythm that come in. Obviously, that's not the case. And this is a tough situation. You got personally, I would not pitch to Seager, and I would pitch to Turner with the bases loaded. One half dozen the other, and play for the double play. But they're going to try to pitch to Seager with the infield in. Infield in and swung around to the right for Seager. Good pitch. Ken Rosenthal, your thoughts?
Joe, there's always a reason why managers make moves, and perhaps this was just as simple as 3rd time through the order. But it's difficult to understand, especially with the left-right situation they have. They could have gone through Muncie at least with Blake Snell.
2nd and 3rd. 1 out.
All that shit for nothing! All that shit for nothing!
He's
was anticipating that shot. Break and it didn't. Seager,
Come on, Seager. Seager, this one too.
you know what to do
their first lead.
No, he's
in
getting
game
scores.
6. Infield's still in. Here's a play.
Yo. Champagne! You open the fucking champagne, no, it's not the bottle.
This is not Mookie has shown you his ability to read and go. Didn't even get as a first baseman, jumping off that ball.
That's right, Theo Roberts, I licked your balls! You're a purple!
Nick Anderson's got a hit right here. Still on the
I'm
right as Seager reaches on the fielder's choice, gets the RBI. And Turner calls back strike one. Set it 10 times. It's not just the hit of Seager and Baez. It's been the defense, it's been the base running, it's been being ready to take the extra base. And Kevin Cash has got to be sick.
Mookie, you the man.
Niners, baby, Niners! Watch it!
Just after that single by the number 9 hitter Barnes. A double by Baez. A wild pitch for a run that scored Barnes. The fielder's choice off the back of Seager that doesn't even hit 90 feet. He puts that right on top for the first time tonight. And we know Snell is pleading his case in the dugout. Frustrated he was taken out. Nope. There's something about this game and the psyche of this game when hitters will tell you all you need to know about the dominance of another player. It doesn't always have to be body language, but they know that that pitcher on the mound has the edge that moment, in that given moment. And when he gets taken out of the game, you intuitively think, thank you, we now have a chance. And it certainly played its place right out here in this inning.
Hey, it looked like it was gone.
And a loud second out here in the 6th. And here comes Kevin Cash. Gonna make another move.
Hey, I thought it was gone.
So the next Muncie coming up.
It's all
2
good.
runs in. The first Dodger lead of the night. Snell out of the bullpen. Willie Bates smiling. Another pitching change. Made this happen. The 1-out double to set it up and then was ready to run on that ground ball by Seager. We'll show you another angle of it. His base running has been. In this postseason, Loup takes over and Muncie takes a strike. Betts has stolen 6, but both he and Seager have been on their toes with anything in the dirt or on contact while they've been at third. It happened in the LCS and it's happened again here in the World Series. They put pressure on this defense the whole series as the count goes to 0-2.
Yeah, this is just a baseball one-on-one play that most guys haven't perfected. Well, Mookie Betts in his speed, but his reaction time and understanding the combination of both, reading the bat and knowing that your talents are just that far superior than the rest. And
Nothing until the Loup brings it. Once he takes it, Tom Belushi weighing in on what we're seeing here in the 6th.
Well, that play there with Mookie, remember in game 1, they did not hold him on at third base, and he scored on the contact play. Even held on, he scored. But going back to that decision to have Anderson pitch to Betts, Mookie slugged just .218 against lefties. That was the worst in the major leagues. He brought in a right-handed fastball pitcher who had given up runs in 6 consecutive appearances in the postseason. It was a very curious move because of the matchup and because of the way Blake Snell was pitching.
Okay, vecina.
Line on Snell.
Saludos,
Third
okay.
one-run two hits.
Armando, everybody.
No
Karina.
walks, 9 strikeouts.
Saludos, compa Armando. Hasta la reforma.
Oh, they're watching it too?
Here's a 2-2 now to Muncy.
That's right, baby. Frida.
Patient hitter with
Frida, we miss you, mama.
Let's go, Dodgers.
The bullpen for the Dodgers, which at times has been a little shaky this postseason. They kept this game at 1-0. They've been equally as dominant as Blake Snell was for the Rays. Runner goes and to the right side is second. Down this inning will be talked about for a long time.
Okay.
Pitching change happened. Snell came out. Anderson came in.
There you go,
Dodgers went to
motherfucker.
work. Back after this from your local Fox station.
Okay. Okay, vamos ganando. Okay, vecina. Dígame, compa Mando. Vamos.
Authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Rays and Dodgers gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBShop.com. From Gonsolin to Floro, to Wood, to Baez, to Gonzalez, now bruised out Graterol, the flame-throwing right-hander, who deals high at 102 for ball one to Willie Adames. So if you're Tampa Bay, it's a one-run game. Now you're down. All the momentum is gone. You got to get something here. Try and turn the tide. Graterol was wild during his warm-up. He's run the count to 2-0 here with Adames.
Yeah, this is what the Rays have been made of all year. You just took a gut punch, and you can't let that affect you. And I'm sure that dugout is looking for that one player, that one moment, turn this game around.
Swinging on 2-0. And Adames is 3 for 20 in this World Series. The Dodgers bullpen was good in Game 5. It's been great here tonight. And I could make a case of the 2 biggest outs the bullpen got in Game 5 were in the 8th inning by Victor Gonzalez, and he just left this ball game going in inning the 3rd, striking out 3. Here's a fly ball in the left, back to here in the 7th. Off the bat of Kiermaier, who's now 1 for 3. And before Zunino steps to the plate, a quick word from Lysol.
Major League Baseball is stepping up to the plate with Lysol to help protect the players chasing postseason dreams. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
I don't know if they're seeing something in the delivery of Graterol. You and I saw the same thing during the warm-ups. He was all over the place, and he went 2-0 on Adames. He's got 2 out, nobody on, and Zunino coming up, and Mark Pryor going out to visit.
That can't be a starting board. That has to be something that he wanted to make sure he remembered in his mechanics and what he was trying to do to locate his fastball.
Well, Zunino's hit big home runs this postseason and almost walked right into that. As it rode inside ball 1. Julio! Who's been lights out this postseason. Urias, by the way, coming off a start in Game 4 when he struck at the 9 over 4 2/3. It was that crazy game. On the game-winning hit by Brett Phillips. 1-2 on Zunino.
One more.
The big catcher is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
with 2 out, and the first World Series hit for Mike Zunino.
Yeah, I don't understand that pitch. But you just threw 2 fastballs completely by him, and he threw them on a slider, which allowed the bat speed to catch up. And the slider was right there. You can see he still reached for it.
And now with the left-handed batter coming up, are we going to get another pitching change?
I would think so.
Sure looks like it. Roberts has not motioned to the bullpen yet, but it's a second visit, so he's gone. A quick visit with 2 out, nobody on from Mark Pryor. And that means that this visit is the end of the night for Graterol. Urias coming in. Choi, the scheduled hitter, in the seventh. 2/3 of an inning, allowing that 2-out hit. It was Zunino who got it. We have the new pitcher, Julio Urias, who started game 4. That was on Saturday. Pinch runner is the guy who ended game 4, Brett Phillips, with that base hit into right center field off Jansen. The pinch hitter is Yandy Diaz, who swung the bat well in this series, batting for G-Man Choi.
And because of the rule, Dave Roberts is hoping this is the one batter he faces this inning, because the next batter on deck, of course, has caused all the problems.
That's Arozarena. Strike 1. This has been a game of a couple of quick hooks. I'm not talking about curveballs. Okay. Tying run at first, Phillips. Great speed. Strikes in. Good swing by Diaz, but now he's set up.
Urias has a gift. His arm is a gift, but his pulse is a gift too. He doesn't get carried away for a young player in any situation that I have seen of so far. That is 2 combinations of why you can trust him in a lot of situations Dave Roberts is putting in.
Phillips gets a walking lead and draws a throw. Stole 6 bases, 6 out of 7. Started the season with Kansas City. Mentioned him after he won the game on Saturday when the deal was made at the trade deadline. He knew he would find his way into World Series history as that misses up and away for bluntly ended Eagles.
Yes, it's been really good with 2 strikes. One of the better hitters on the Rays with 2 strikes in the regular season and in the postseason. He's actually in the postseason been worse when he's been ahead of the game.
He's picked it up here in the World Series. 4 for 11, 7 for 35 overall. 7 for 6. Comes in and slams the door on the top of the 7th. That game was something. Graterol loved it. Dodger fans loved it. Time to stretch. Los Angeles up by 1.
Vamos contra as duas.
Frank Trust for the Dodgers talking it over as the Dodger hitters ready to come up. In the bottom of the 7th inning, LA on top by 1, and Pete Fairbanks, a hard-throwing right-hander, is the 4th pitcher of the night for Tampa Bay. First up, Will Smith. Yandy Diaz stays in the game at first. The catcher is Perez, and that's fouled back and out of play after the pinch hitter and pinch runner. There's Perez. And Yandy Diaz, who just struck out, looking to end the top of this inning. Fairbanks rides one up and in on Smith, who's 0 for 2.
You're right, Joe, about if the outcome stays the way it is, it'll be talked about for quite some time. And there's numbers to back it up. But those numbers over a course of 162 games have some value when you're going 30, 32 starts. But each individual start in the postseason.
There's a ringing leadoff double in the center.
Each postseason start doesn't have the same meaning as the numbers you accumulate over 162. Smith finally getting on board here with some struggling bats, but a big double to lead off the 8th. So close to a home.
Fourth hit of this World Series for the young catcher, DHing tonight. The batter is Bellinger.
One thing these Rays bullpen, which was, again, you're going to, course of the regular season, you're not playing your regular season games kind of like the postseason they have so far. And these guys have been in 70 games, a deep 7-game series, a 5-game series with the Yankees, 7-game series with the Astros, and now a 6-game series with the Dodgers. You're asking these guys to be as good as they were in the regular season without being used as much as they're being used in this condensed playoffs. They would never use these guys in the regular season like they're using them in the playoffs. So you would think there would be some wear and tear and just not as sharp. You can tell they haven't been as sharp. And the Dodgers have taken advantage of it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Hunter at second, nobody out. Bellinger. But it just seems, and this is not an indictment on today's game, but even in this game tonight, managers are looking for any reason to get a guy out of the game.
Yes.
Instead of looking for the reasons to keep a guy in the game.
Correct. Because the numbers are dictating.
Scott on the left. Arozarena, late break. Out to make the play is Wendell. Runner at second, 1 out. Bellinger 0 for 3 did not advance. The runner will give you a quick word from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
T-Mobile brings you 5G BP, the first ever 5G powered stream from cameras on the field. Get closer to the game with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
The topic of the game is third time through the lineup. What's the OPS? Well, the OPS is going to be higher. You know why it's going to be higher? Because you're not training guys to go through the lineup 3 times. So there's the answer, and the discussion can't be second guessed. That's in the regular season. Postseason, still by that theory yet.
Taylor with a runner at second, 1 out. Dodgers have 4 hits in the ballgame. They've been out hit 5-4. Got Peterson on deck. And there was a matter of time where A.J. Pollock's spot due up after Taylor. Fly ball to right, slicing foul. 1-1. 1-1.
This is something that's changed too. You get a chance to see this in real time, and believe it or not, that's what a lot of pitching coaches will even go off of, the numbers of what those two categories say about a pitch.
The Dodger hitters told you all you need to know about the pitching of Blake Snell.
Exactly.
You can throw all the numbers in the garbage. 5 1/3 innings, 1 run. He gave up a 1-out single, and he gets yanked. He had struck out 9. He had handled the top of the order. He had one of the highest OPSs in World Series history. The first 4 hitters were a combined 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts. And that was the part of the order where the game was and the inning was in the 6th. Pitching change happened. A double by Baez. Wild pitch in there, and then a fielder's choice hit into by Seager to put the Dodgers on top with good base running by Mookie Betts. Taylor strikes out. Put out down at first, 2 away.
I'm not so sure I would pitch to Jock Peterson right here.
Pinch hits for Pollock. With the number 9 hitter, Austin Barnes, who's not coming out of this game, on deck. So here comes a visit from Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach. So back to the dugout is the pitching coach, Kyle Snyder. Waiting at the plate is Jock Peterson to see what the strategy is with first base open. And the right-handed hitting Austin Barnes, who started the 2-run rally last inning, on deck. They'll go after Peterson, I would imagine carefully. With a home run in Game 5, he's 4 for 10 in this World Series.
You better not see many fastballs.
Leadoff double. Smith is out there with 2 out. That was called low for ball 1.
There's a good breaking ball right there. Peterson's been unbelievable in the postseason. There's no rhyme or reason to determine that you were going to get this kind of success out of him based on his regular season. But the Dodgers sure are glad.
There's a 1-0.
That's got to put him on now. You can't let a 2-0 pitch. You can't get back in the count with Peterson.
They're going to walk him. Take their chances with Austin Barnes. That, by the way, is the first walk, albeit an intentional one, handed to the Dodgers tonight by Rays pitching. And the wide-eyed, hard-throwing right-hander will deal with Barnes. Again, his hit chased Blake Snell. Might be an entirely different conversation, not for that 1-out hit last inning. Said this the other night, Fairbanks pitching the ballpark that he might have called home. Traded last year from the Rangers organization for an infielder, Nick Solak. And he can really dial it up. 6-3, 2.7 ERA in 27 games this year. Started twice. Struck out 39 in 26 and 2/3 innings. He's been good this postseason. Doesn't get the call there at 99 in the count 1-1.
Barnes has had a great postseason, and he's really played himself into more at-bats. Responsible for catching Kershaw pretty much, and that's it. Well, postseason, he's hitting .318 coming into this game.
And they've added Walker Buehler to his list also now. And tonight, I mean, he's in there with Will Smith DHing. I think they, at this point, late in the World Series, they want his presence behind home plate.
Yeah.
The other catcher's the DH. He's out at second base, and Barnes trying to bring him home.
But he didn't get the one in the corner. He got the one that you don't really want to throw, but also might hit.
Good pitch and a good take by Barnes. 2-2.
Well, we've mentioned it till we're blue in the face about the 2 outs, 2 strikes. The Dodgers have been. This would be a backbreaker if they're able to squeeze another run here in what has been hard to score runs in this kind of game.
59 of the 100 runs scored by the Dodgers this postseason have come with 2 out.
Smith's doing his part at second. He's getting a huge secondary lead because he can go on any attempt to swing the bat, he's going to go. 2 outs. Here by Barnes. See, the reason Barnes is kind of a tough guy to pitch to, he's not one that's concerned about making a big swing, right? He's not trying to take the velocity and catch up to it with a bigger swing. He's trying to be as quick as he can to the fastball, fight it off, maybe get a breaking ball that hangs in the middle of the plate, and then that does him that gives him a better chance for a successful hit.
Shallow right, out goes the second baseman, and Loup has it to win the inning. Good job by Fairbanks to get around the leadoff double by Will Smith. The big man, Randy Arozarena, will lead it off in the 8th for the Rays, down 1. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Camping World. What a game. 2-1, 8th inning. And Randy Arozarena is at the plate. He's homered tonight, the only Rays run Couple of defensive changes. Dodgers put on their typical change defensively with Taylor moving to left, Kike Hernandez at second, but Edwin Rios has taken over at third base. We're trying to find out if something happened with Taylor as that misses inside 2-0. So Rios, been a while since we've seen him in the field, and Turner's played a great third base. So we'll find out if something indeed happened to him. Meanwhile, the 2-0 pitch, Arozarena takes a strike from Urias. Last time Rios played in the field was in the NLCS Game 3. He started that ball game and Turner with the DH. Here's one into right center.
Catch it.
Boy, he's had some jumps out in center, and that was not as easy as Cody Bellinger made that look. One down the eighth.
No, he's been doing this all series, all postseason. And you can make the claim the one time he wasn't in center was the crazy game that the Dodgers ended up losing. And he's been unreal this postseason in center.
Hunter Renfroe comes off the bench to bat for Austin Meadows, who was 1 for 3. Looked like a changeup. Here's Urias, pressure to the ground.
Four more, baby.
Four more.
Pitches this inning so far for Urias in 9. As he's picked up 3 outs, and he's got 2 out, nobody on here in the 8th. Remember, he pitched the last 3 innings in a 1-run ball game, 4-3. In the NLCS Game 7 to close it down. And with question marks at the back end of their bullpen, the Dodgers very well could do it again. Nope. That's a ball to Brandon Lau. From the young left-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just comes out smooth and the hitter can't see it. Especially left on left. You mentioned those 3 home runs Brandon Lau hit. They were all to left center, left field.
Can you imagine? Julio Urias' father Carlos watching in Mexico. His first coach. Hanging on with every pitch here tonight with his 24-year-old. In the 8th inning of Game 6 when the Dodgers try to end the World Series and win their first championship in 32 years. Good swing by Lau. They couldn't catch up. Still 1-2. And the Dodgers are 3 defensive outs away from a World Series title. They bat in the 8th, leading by 1. Plays of the game brought to you by Hanko Tire. The double hit by Mookie Betts. And after a run scored to tie it on a wild pitch, Mookie was ready to fly and scored on the fielder's choice hitting 2 by Seager. Here he is leading off the 8th inning for the Dodgers against Fairbanks. Takes a strike.
Fernando, what's up, my
A
boy?
moment that many people might
Salud,
forget.
carnal.
Floro coming in with first and second, 2 outs to face Arozarena. In what seemed like early in the game. He got him out.
That's out of play, and he started reception out of the pen. Alex Wood, 2 perfect innings with 3 strikeouts. Baez, 2/3, 1 hit. And so far, that's one of just 2 hits against this Dodger bullpen. Graterol gave up a 2-out hit, and Urias is faced for, retired for. Rays hitters have struck out 14 times in the ballgame.
Come on, baby.
Here's the 0-2 to Baez.
Come on, Rumpetangas!
There are a lot of Dodger fans in attendance tonight. And they are feeling it now. Ball 1 to Corey Seager.
And I will say this, Joe, in fairness, there's going to be a lot of talk about the move, no doubt, for the Rays, but it is really difficult to win a game 1-0. The Rays offense has been held down in check for most of this series. And you got to give the Dodgers credit in their bullpen and
fuck yeah.
by Gonsolin.
1 ball, 1 strike on Seager, and for manager in Dave Roberts, who's in his 5th year,
Came through, dog.
managing in his 3rd World Series. He has shown a masterful touch,
Ya está calentando Jensen.
especially in games 5 and 6, with using those guys out of the pen.
Oh.
His team needs 3 defensive outs, and he's got an electrifying Julio Urias in the ballgame to get him, to give the Dodgers their first championship in 32 years.
Vamos, Raza.
Say 3 years ago, maybe this scenario doesn't play out. And they used Loup 2 years ago, but it didn't work
Come
out.
on, Wendy.
And I think Dave has,
El Pancho
along with
Villa.
his staff, recognized a couple things as the postseason has gone on to trust a guy like Urias to finish a game.
There isn't anybody who's met Dave Roberts that doesn't love his company. He is one of the nicest people that you could come across.
Theo Roberts! Dave Roberts! You're the best!
The 2004 ALCS for Boston on their way to a championship. Made a lot of moves. Some have worked, some certainly have not in these years in the postseason. Well, as I said about Kevin Cash, Dave Roberts is a big reason why the Dodgers are here, why they lead by a game, and why they lead Game 6 by 2. With the Dodgers under his pen.
Come on, baby, come on.
Están allá por cualquier cosa. Ya están por cualquier cosa.
This ball was scorched.
Yeah, breaking ball, middle. He knew it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, baby. Man. Yeah. Hell yeah.
When we got a chance to talk to
You
him,
the man, Mookie.
totally makes sense.
Hell
now.
yeah.
He said at the beginning of the year, with all that's going on in the world, all that's going on with the adjustments.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This player, I don't want to hear anybody complain. Don't complain. We want everybody going in the right direction. We've got a really good team. And that positive attitude that he has, that you're talking about, has meant a lot in this year of all years because of the
Everybody that
strangeness to
doubted them,
it, and
homie.
the adjustments everyone has had to make.
Everybody's talking about continuity, getting through 2020 and the pandemic. And there's plenty of continuity, not just with Dave Roberts and his staff, but with this lineup and the pitching staff. Here's Kike Hernandez, his first at bat, pulls back from the ball upstairs. Hernandez hitting in the number 3 spot. Still no word on if something happened injury-wise to Justin Turner, but this would be his spot. Taken out of the ball game on the top of the spring.
And the likely last hitter that Fairbanks will face.
Here is an 0-1 pitch. Foul back here. Now Yarbrough is getting ready with Muncy, the next man to the plate.
Come on, Kiki! Kiki, do you love me?
Yarbrough started in game 4 on Saturday, went 3 1/3. Left 2 runs on 5 hits.
Dodger Stadium,
Lead-off home run by Baez. It's a 3-1 ball game. Runner at first, nobody out after the walk. Kike Hernandez strikes out.
It's all right, Kiki. It's all right.
And here comes Kevin Cash.
Kevin Cash, it's too late for that, man. Get your ass back in the bullpen.
Muncy coming up. Yarbrough coming in to pitch here in the 8th inning of Game 6. Our good hands play the game. We're going to hand it to the relief corps of the Dodgers tonight. From Floro to Wood, Baez, Victor Gonzalez with an inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. Graterol got 2 outs. And now it's Urias who took over in the 7th. He's retired all 4 hitters he's faced. And that bullpen, after the Rays got a run in the 1st inning, Gonsolin did well to get out of further damage in the 1st. The bullpen has held the Dodgers in it. Now it's 3-1 LA. As Ryan Yarbrough takes over with 1 on, 1 out in the 8th. Max Muncy 0 for 3.
Max Muncy's been great in the World Series, along with Seager and Turner, really. I just look at our score sheet and I go, wow. Mookie Betts struck out twice, then he gets a double and a homer. Corey Seager struck out twice. He gets that fielder's choice game-winning, to this point, RBI and a walk. That's the difference.
Really, for the most part, somehow, some way, those guys have found their way. It might be 2. Rouse starts it. And it is turned by Wendell.
What's up, Dennis? Get
A run in the flesh.
Get over with it, man. Come on, Dodgers, come on.
His second of the World Series. Rays get it in the final 3 rounds. Trailing now by 2.
Ya, Mookie, ya voy a ir a ver la champaña, ¿no? Campo Bay. Corey Seager, MVP! 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 The MVP right there.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's right.
Stay tuned after the game.
It's a wrap, man.
If it ends here tonight, the Chevrolet MVP trophy presentation. Rays want to push that off for 1 more year. They've got to get a base run. It's here in the 9th inning. Margot, Wendell, Gonzalez against Julio Urias.
Right.
Who fired the straight.
Julio!
The straight zone. He's fearless. And like I said, you got to have a slow heartbeat. It's not like he's done this a ton of times. He does have some saves.
Outside. On the strike.
But now, the Rays have to get somebody on to make at least the nerves a little unsettled to bring the Tide run to the plate. And since the first, it hasn't been. The Rays have had 0 chances for the most part.
That's strike 2. We'll give you a quick word from Gatorade. On Game 6 of the World Series. The Dodgers leading 3-1. Here comes a 1-2 to Margot.
But you can't do here, gentlemen. I'm sure he's not. You can't come out. This stage, as many times as the Dodgers have, and as close as they come, you can't come out. This is the only barrier you think matters. And then go from there.
And that batter is Mike Brasso off the bench. This game is already tied the record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game, if that's what it is. And we had 25 strikeouts we've seen here tonight by these two teams. Brasso has swung the bat very well this postseason. Takes the ball. He is a tough bat, and if you don't believe me, ask Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, it's the bat of his life. Phillips had the moment of his life. Now the Rays are hoping they have one more moment to keep this series going. So much horsepower in the bullpen that they have. Good hit, but wouldn't it be a little ironic that
Almost Dyers!
cost them?
Dyers!
Rays couldn't wait to get to their bullpen. One-run charge to the starter, Blake Snell, who was outstanding. And one to Nick Anderson. He came in, allowed a double rookie Betts. And the wheels started turning. 1-1 of Brasso. Strike 2.
One more, baby. Nunca me están tan cerca, güey.
That's it. I could already taste it.
I'm gonna save that video. Este video lo va a estar guardado. Este video. Wow.
1-2 pitch is high and tight.
Good team, man. Very good team, man. Very good team, man. We should go to the Guardians next year. Nope.
Great take. After seeing velocity and then spinning a breaking ball up there, this would have been really easy to come out of your shoes right here, but a great take.
Brasso gives nothing away. Undrafted, trying to give the Rays a chance. Down by 2. Urias.
One more, baby.
One more.
Get your shine on, boy.
One more, baby.
Look, they already feel it too.
Dodger fans to their feet. Urias. Calm, cool, and collected. Has retired all 6 he's faced.
Two best teams in baseball.
One more, baby.
Meet in the
Come on, baby. One more.
format that we've seen in a long time.
Dyers.
One of these teams will have won a great World Series.
Yeah.
baseball game and not thought like that. But it's impossible to not think of the 92-year-old Vin Scully, the greatest to ever do it. Started with the Dodgers in 1950, retired 4 years ago. 7 years of his life he poured into the Dodger organization, and you know
uno más.
he's watching.
Después de 32 años. Oh, mira. Magic Johnson.
Ownership. Andrew Friedman.
Magulo! We champion! We champion! We champions, baby!
The Dodgers just showed too many ways that they can win this series.
Robert! Te amo, Robert!
David Roberts pulling the strings and making right call after right call out of the bullpen. Over the last 32 years, the Dodgers have knocked at the door for this a few times. This year,
Magic!
Magic!
they were down 3 games to 1 to the Braves. They played baseball from that point on. An almost flawless baseball in the World Series. This is a complete team, a team that had a lot of these are two different teams.
Julio!
Two great teams represent their cities. The Dodgers have the weight of the world now, and I'm telling you right now, there is a relief that you cannot understand until you've been there, done that, and they have answered.
Finally, we got this.
Batman, Dave Roberts, and Clayton Kershaw in the middle of that celebration. Austin Barnes wisely tucks that ball into his the future favors him to run.
Kershaw, run, motherfucker, run!
The pitchers had a field day today.
Seager! Rumpetanga!
This year belongs to the Dodgers as they win their 7th championship in franchise history.
Rosarito 661.
Mookie Betts, you signed here for 12 years with a team that had not won in 32 years. When did you believe that this would be the year, your first year in LA?
I mean, from day one, you know, these guys have been in postseason so many times, and I just came to be a part of it, and I'm just happy I can.
Blake Snell is taken out of the game. He had gotten you twice. Nick Anderson came in. Tell me about that change the Rays made for that at bat.
I mean, mean, I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not going to answer any questions. But he was pitching a great game. Barzy let off with a hit, I think, right there. And we had a chance to do something, but they made a pitching change, and it seems like that's all we needed.
And finally, you in the clincher in 2018 World Series, you hit a home run. You did it again tonight. How good did that feel?
It felt amazing. I mean, I had an offer yesterday. We're up 2-1 right there. We need to scratch across another run. You know, we're not one swing of the bat away, and I did, and Julio did the same.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. Austin, I saw you put the ball in your pocket. What was it like to catch the final out of the Dodgers' first World Series title since 1988?
Man, it is surreal. We worked so hard, man. We've had our hearts broken so many times. This group works so hard. It's hard to explain. It's a ton of emotion.
Any idea when you got that single with one out in the sixth that you were chasing Blake Snell?
I knew all postseason long I had Mookie and Seager behind me. Usually when you get on base for those guys, good things happen. We were scratching and clawing, man. They got out to the early lead, but we kept rounding.
Your bullpen tonight, Austin. Floro, Wood, Baez, Gonzalez, and finally Urias. What were they doing to be so successful?
It was just, they made their pitches. Just executed, didn't let it get to them, didn't let the moment get to them. They got out to the first 2 innings were a grind for us. We were a little bit on our heels the whole game for the first part of the game, and those guys kept hitting. Those guys won us that game.
Austin, congratulations. Thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
Kenny, thank you. 5 straight years the Dodgers won the Rookie of the Year award. Called the Jackie Robinson Award fittingly. Karros, Piazza, Mondesi, Nomo, Hollingsworth, all those players have come and gone in Dodger uniforms without a title. And you look at the droughts.
Fucking cheaters!
And for a franchise like the Dodgers, they wanted no part of being on this list. 32 years, that's how long it had been, since the days of Oral Hershiser, Tommy Lasorda, and all those Dodger greats. This team joins them as world champions for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was an amazing ride through October. 3-1 is the final tonight. You see Dave Roberts say, "I'm so happy for you." Clayton Kershaw's got to live just miles from where he grew up.
Seager.
What a World Series. What a year it has been for all. The Dodgers are on top. Studio show on the other side of the break.
Where Jensen at? No Kenny Jensen?
Show Tubi, free movies, and TV. The Dodgers, World Series champs for the first time since 1988. What a feeling it is for Corey Seager and the boys. A lot of perseverance to get back there for another time and win it. That's what they did tonight. Plenty of reaction in the trophy coming up in mere moments. But we start this show with some breaking news. After the completion of the game tonight, we were informed by Major League Baseball that Justin Turner received a positive COVID test. That's why he was removed from the game. We have no other details at this time. We'll continue, though, to report on this developing story. Obviously, we hope Turner's okay and that everyone else is okay that's been around Turner. But there you go. Let's go back to the field and take a look at the reaction from these Dodgers. Hugs around, smiles around. It's been a long time since 1988. Certainly, they've been here before now, and the third time for them in the big show was the charm.
I mean, there's so much to like about this Dodger team. I mean, you saw the emotion from Clayton Kershaw. But for me, it's the big three. Dave Roberts in his 5th year as a manager. You saw the maturity. You saw the honesty. I spoke to him yesterday. He was fantastic. Clayton Kershaw, obviously the story. Nobody's pitched more innings in the postseason without a world championship. Well, you can't say that about him. And then the Mookie man. The effect of Mookie Betts and what he's meant to this franchise is like magic to the Lakers, the Mookie man.
All right, it seems like it's about time to hand out the Commissioner's Trophy. Let's go back to Arlington. We send it to Tom Verducci.
Thank you, Kevin. Los Angeles and Dodger fans, you've waited 32 years to hear these words. Woo! The Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. It was an extraordinary season. The Dodgers are an extraordinary champion. 13 postseason wins, a month in the bubble, the best record in baseball, a deserving champion. As I'm sure, next to me, the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, would agree. I'd like to introduce others on this podium.
Fuck Manfred.
Owner Mark Walter.
Hey Mark.
President and CEO Stan Kasten. President of Baseball Operations Andrew Friedman. Manager Dave Roberts. Let me start with the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred.
Fuck you.
2020.
Hey, shut the fuck
it's
up.
going to be remembered.
Ooh. That's right, motherfucker. Say something, motherfucker.
2020 is going to be remembered as a baseball season like no other. Our clubs, and especially our players, were presented with an array of unique challenges. The Los Angeles Dodgers met every one of those challenges bravely. This is truly a team of champions. Mark, it's my distinct pleasure to present to you the Commissioner's Trophy as a symbol of your 2020 World Series victory.
Your ownership group closed the sale of the Dodgers May of 2012. You delivered division titles. Now you've delivered a world championship. Tell me what this means to Los Angeles and the franchise.
Thank you. First, I think we should congratulate the Tampa Bay Rays on an incredible season and a hard-fought series. This victory is for our fans. Thank you, Los Angeles. Thank you, Dodger fans everywhere. 2020 has been a year of so much hardship for so many people, but this trophy is for you, the greatest fans in all of baseball. The Commissioner Manfred and the staff at MLB and the Players Union for fighting this incredible hardship we've had this year and getting a season on the field and finished. To Dave Roberts and Mr. Friedman, you're the best in the world. Thank you for leading this team through this strange and historic season. This championship is a testament to your leadership, your grit, and your determination. It's been 32 long years since the Dodgers last celebrated a World Series champions, and while our schedule is abbreviated, this pandemic year has felt longer than any other. And there were times when it looked like we were headed for disappointment yet again. These players had their backs against the wall, but they stuck together and never gave up. They showed what can be accomplished when we believe in each other and when we believe in that dream. 32 years ago, when Kirk Gibson hit that walk-off home run in Game 1 of the World Series, Vin Scully said, in a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. We have a rich history, but no other team has faced the impossible like a year like this. Clayton, Corey, Mookie, Cody, Kike, JT, Jock, Max, Kenley, and everyone on the roster, each and every one of you, up and down, have truly made history. All of us have been worried about the health and safety of our loved ones. All of us have been called on to heal divides and address the inequality that has torn our communities apart for too long. Yet Dodger fans still rallied to put the wind in our sails and carry us to tonight. This is more than just a trophy. This championship is a tribute to resilience of this organization, the people of Los Angeles, and the people of the United States of America. Dodger fans, we miss you. We love you. Thank you.
I love you too.
Love you too.
Love you too, Ric Flair.
watching and get
Ric
everyone worried
Flair.
about the future.
I love it too.
I hope this team offers a symbol
Whatever,
of
motherfucker.
how we can forge ahead by uniting and having each other's backs, by never giving up, and always remembering that together we can overcome whatever's in our way. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mark Walter. Andrew Friedman, President of Baseball Operations. 28-man roster, but it takes an organization to win. What was it about this group that enabled it to take home that trophy?
We're bringing the trophy home. It's been too long. To our incredible fans, thank you for all the support. We're sorry it took us this long. Thank you for your patience, but it's coming home where it belongs. We are the champions. It's an incredible organizational achievement. The number of fingerprints that are all over the success of this roster, from all the different departments, from our pro scouting, our player development group, our international scouting, our player procurement, our training staff, everybody had a hand in this. We've been
there you go.
no wonder come up just short.
Jensen!
That shows the resolve of this entire group to keep plowing forward and to bring home the ultimate prize. Thank you.
Dave Roberts, 5 years with this team. It's been a grind. I know it's been an emotional road for you to get here. Tell me what this championship means to you, to be the manager of this group of guys.
This is our year. We said it. This is our year. Everyone in this ballpark wearing Dodger blue. Everyone all over the world wearing Dodger blue. Never wavered. This is our year. And these players right here show what toughness is all about. Resiliency. I've never been around a group that's closer, that's tougher, that I love more. And for guys like Clayton, I couldn't be happier for it, Kirsten. Couldn't be happier. You want to talk about a narrative? How about being a champion? He's a champion forever. Kelly Jansen, what you've done, thank you. Justin Turner, thank you.
There you go.
Rick Honeycutt is not here, thank you. Rod Stripling, who's not here, thank you. And to every single one of you guys, I love you so much for all your work, your care, your unselfishness. Congratulations, you guys.
32 years of waiting are over. Congratulations to the 2020 World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Back to you, Kevin.
Well, Vince Scully, how about that? It's only right for the great Vince Scully to tweet, what a year, what a season, what a team. Congratulations to the Dodgers since 1988, and it finally happened in 2020. We've got the MVP presentation. Back to Arlington we go. After this, the Dodgers world champions. Now time for the MVP. Back to Arlington.
There you go. MVP. Seager.
It's time to present the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. And once again, to present that honor, the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred.
Corey, you thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Suck his ass.
You led the Dodgers to a World Series victory, and it's my pleasure to recognize your great play with the Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet.
Chin check.
10 players, you're part of them, that's been here for all 3 World Series the last 4 years. Tell me what it means to you and this team to finish it off this year.
Man, this was just awesome. What this team's accomplished this year throughout the regular season, grinding through every series, you know, we got down 3-1, we came all the way back, you know, just the resilience, the effort, the energy, everything that this team's done this year, man, it's just been fun to be a part of.
What do you think of your new ride? What do you think of your new ride?
That's actually what she wanted for her wedding present, so there you go.
Oh, shit.
Congratulations to you and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Tangas, that's right, my boy.
Commissioner Rod Manfred, I know that Justin Turner came out of this game after a positive test was revealed. You had about almost 2 months without a positive test.
Shut the fuck up.
Describe to me how that happened today and the success of getting through this season.
Well, it's a bittersweet night for us. We're glad to be done. I do think it's a great accomplishment for our players to get this season completed, but obviously we're concerned when any of our players test positive. We learned during the game that Justin was a positive. He was immediately isolated to prevent spread.
Commissioner, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Back to you, Kevin.
Tom, great job. Thanks very much. Obviously, you know, it's 2020, right? I mean, you know, it's we feel for Justin Turner. Hope he's okay. He's one of the classiest dudes there is, and a kid who grew up Dodgers fan in Long Beach, right? So, Justin, get better. But the Dodgers won the World Series, and try and focus on the good with that here, Frank. And look, it's a team that they've been here before. They won 8 straight divisions. Took them a few World Series to get here. There's a lot to be said about intestinal fortitude when you keep getting back on the horse and getting back to this point and finally break through.
You gotta love this team. We all felt this team would eventually win the World Series. They were that good. I mean, pitching, defense, hitting, they had it all. And Tampa gave them one heck of a fight to get that trophy, but they deserved this. No one is second guessing. We're talking about how the Dodgers won the World Series. We're all expecting this is the first time that I can remember the last 20 years that I thought a team that would easily win a World Series within a 60-game sprint. They didn't let us down at all throughout this whole process. They were the best team throughout the 60-game sprint and throughout the playoffs.
As a big fan of basketball, I remember when I first heard about Magic joining the Dodgers. Right away, Frida, la niña, su hermosa. This might be the time for the Dodgers to start winning championships.